What's up, YouTube? Shane Swaney, founder of Ascend Hypnosis, and I am streaming here live from my backyard right now in sunny St. Petersburg, Florida. Hopefully for one of the last times, and I will be getting into an office space shortly, and so I'll be able to put out some more professional looking videos for you all. But I wanted to sit down today and just have a little chat and talk about why this channel exists, why my practice exists, and what I'm doing as a hypnotist, how I got into the profession, and why I love it so much, what drives me. Hold on, I'm gonna put these things down because it is bright out here. And actually, ironically, part of my story, you'll understand why I gotta wear these sunglasses when I'm outside. My eyes are really sensitive to the sunlight and any bright lights and things like that because of a condition that I have. But my first profession actually was as a chiropractor. And that was my passion for a very long time. I loved that profession, loved my patients, loved helping people and seeing them get better naturally. The success rate is off the charts, and it was really fun introducing people to something that they really had very little understanding of, and then seeing them completely change their lives in ways that they didn't know were possible, and improving their lives, their quality of life. I mean, the things that I saw happen with people in that chiropractic practice are absolutely amazing. I mean, some of the results that we got, you would have to call them miracles. People thank me for not only taking their pain away, but for saving their marriages, improving their moods, even helping them to where they were able to, do I want to say this? I don't think I can get in trouble for saying this. Though there were patients that came to me that had infertility issues, and we were able to help them get their bodies restored back to a more healthy homeostasis. And all I'll say is they were able to get pregnant again. Won't say what happened, why that happened, but I believe that through what we were doing together and fixing their nutrition and taking the stress off their body, that was a big part in what was able to happen for them. So I loved what I was doing. As you can imagine, when you see those kind of things on a regular basis, it's very rewarding and very validating, and I miss it a lot. But what happened was, towards the end of my career, I started noticing some problems. I was having cognitive problems, issues with my short-term memory, really became kind of forgetful. I was very articulate, and I started just forgetting words. Words would always be on the tip of my tongue, and I couldn't remember what they were. And I still struggle with that to this day. But the biggest problem was my emotional regulation. I had a lot of issues with, especially as stress came on, I just couldn't handle the anxiety, couldn't handle the stress, couldn't handle everything that went into running a doctor's office, was struggling at home with my marriage, having 2 young children at home at the same time as I was running the chiropractic clinic. And everything kind of came to a head all at once. I bought a clinic and was defrauded, and it caused so much stress, just not only in my business life, but also in my personal life, and almost ruined us financially. And when that happened, it just sent me spiraling down, and I was not able to recover, had to sell my practices. Thankfully, my wife is a successful business owner. She started her own business, and our family was able to make it through that, but my marriage almost didn't. Fortunately, my wife stood by me. We went and got help, found me some help, and it took years and years and years. And thankfully, I didn't give up. I didn't give up on my family, and my family didn't give up on me. And we kept pushing and getting wrong answers from doctor after doctor after doctor that we knew just wasn't right. It just didn't make sense, the stuff they were trying to diagnose me with and say were happening to me. And fortunately, finally, almost accidentally found someone who did some brain scans on me and figured out that I had a traumatic brain injury. And it didn't really make sense. I mean, it sort of made sense because I was a professional fighter. So then you're gonna think, well, no shit, you had brain injuries. But I was a mixed martial arts fighter. I did mostly jujitsu when I was a ground fighter. And throughout my career, I mean, I had a really good record, mostly wins. And on top of that, I really didn't take much damage to my head, so never was knocked out, never was even really hit that hard. And I was searching for any kind of moment in my life where this could have happened, and I came up with nothing. And I'm adopted, so I reached out to my birth mom, and we talked, and it turned out that I had a traumatic birth. I almost died, actually. Got stuck in the birth canal. I was a breech presentation, and they tried to do a natural delivery with me, and I got stuck in the birth canal, and the cord was wrapped around my neck at the same time, so I had this double whammy of a oxygen starvation to the brain. It was blue and non-responsive for almost 5 minutes after I was born, and almost didn't survive that process. So was able to compensate for the effects of it for a long time, thankfully, because I have some other advantages in my life that were there for me that helped me compensate, and it didn't show up until things started to get really bad. And the stress started to become overwhelming later on in my chiropractic career. So with that diagnosis, we were able to start doing the right kinds of treatments for me. And it was a long road back, but made it back. My marriage survived. I am a better father and a better husband to this day. I think I'm a better care provider in whatever capacity that I've done that since then. And even though I was doing better, I felt like there was a lot left for me to recover to get back to where I wanted to be. And in the meantime, I was healthy enough that I could start figuring out what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go back to chiropractic. I didn't want to put myself and my family through everything that it would take to open a new clinic from scratch and to run a doctor's office, especially in today's insurance climate, as complicated as it's gotten. It's a completely different ball game compared to what it was 20 years ago when I first started. It's changed so much that I didn't want to try to relearn all the rules, and I didn't want to deal with all the stress that went into it, because I've seen what it's done to my friends who are very successful and their brains work right, and they were able to run successful clinics, but boy, it still takes a toll on them and their marriages and their lives. So I really developed a passion for mental health through all of the struggles that I went through, and I decided to go back to school to be a mental health counselor. And I won't get into all the things that I loved and didn't love about that. There was a lot that I didn't, once I got into school, thought that maybe it wasn't the right thing for me, but I knew I loved helping people. And I knew I had a passion for mental health, and I knew I had a passion for the subconscious. So when I had the opportunity to take a seminar on hypnotherapy, I jumped in. So I started taking hypnosis, hypnotherapy training courses, and in those courses, they use the students to demonstrate on quite frequently. And I was able to experience hypnosis and experience some interesting results. We'll just leave it at that. They were interesting results. But I fell in love with the profession. I started to consume hypnosis education in whatever capacity I could find it. I was walking around with my headphones on all day, listening to trainings and YouTube videos and anything I could download, anything that I could buy. Signed up for a advanced hypnosis course, higher level stuff than what I had learned just from the hypnotherapy and script writing. Again, not bashing anything or anybody's style, but I was able to see what was really out there and what hypnosis was and what it offered, and I wanted to learn that. I wanted to build my confidence. I wanted to be able to offer those things to anybody that I might want to do hypnosis on. And at first I thought I might only use it for friends and family and on the occasional counseling client. And that was until I fell such in love with hypnosis that I decided to drop out of counseling school and dedicate myself 100% to becoming a hypnotist and the best hypnotist I can possibly be. So in the process of doing that, I found some pretty amazing teachers. And with amazing teachers comes amazing colleagues. And through working with these teachers and colleagues and having people practice on me and demonstrate on me, one day I had a hypnosis session with an incredible hypnotist. And during the session, not a lot happened. I could tell some things happened, but not a lot. But what happened that night blew me away and completely changed my life. I was dozing off on the couch, and right before I fell asleep, I had this vision of me as a baby in my birth mom's arms. And won't get into all the details of it, but I was transported back 40 some odd years to being a little infant. And it was the most real, vivid memory, vision, experience, dream, whatever you want to call it, whatever it was. I'm not even sure what it was, but it was incredible. And I felt this healing love, this change in me, and it released all this pressure, all this tension, all this sadness, and all this negativity that was stored up inside of me. And that doesn't mean everything went away in my life and now I'm perfect mentally and cognitively and everything like that, but oh my God, the change that did happen was astounding. It was like this giant weight being taken off my back, off my shoulders, and it was like I could move again. There's the old metaphor of learned helplessness, of the elephant being chained to a stake and chained to a stake until it learns that it can't go any farther, and then they can just leave that chain on and not attach it to the stake anymore, and the elephant won't leave that circle where it's learned that it can only go. Hopefully that made sense the way I explained it, but that's what I felt like. I felt like I had all these negative thoughts and limiting beliefs about myself and about life and about other people that were stored up inside of me there, that were just holding me back and making me unhappy and keeping me from being and doing everything I wanted to do in life. And again, it's not like everything got better the next day, but over the next couple of weeks, even the next couple of months, I noticed profound changes. And this is coming from someone who spent 10 years in therapy, personal therapy and couples therapy. I went to a outpatient hospital, rehab facility to help me with my brain, and spent 4 months there. So I've been through it. I've been through a lot of different things, and there have been a lot of things that helped me, and there were a lot of things that didn't, but I've never experienced anything like what I experienced with hypnosis that night. So I brought hypnosis into my family. I started hypnotizing my wife and my family members, and started thinking that maybe I would just use it on family and friends and the occasional counseling client. But yeah, I fell in love with it and decided I didn't want to finish school. I was 1 semester away, and I had to do my internship, and I would have a master's degree in counseling, clinical mental health counseling. And it wasn't what I wanted anymore. I wanted to be a hypnotist, and I wanted to help people the way that hypnosis helped me. So again, I poured my heart and soul into learning as much as I could about the profession and about what I could do, and was shocked at all the incredible stuff that hypnosis could do. And I felt like my chiropractic patients, honestly, back in the day, the patients that I had to introduce to the profession and educate them on all of the amazing things it could do for them. And with hypnosis, it's very much the same thing. Very few people understand it. Most of us have seen a stage hypnotist in college or at a comedy show, and we associate it with that, or something crazy from a movie or a TV show that we saw. And it's not like that. It really is just an amazing, peaceful, serene experience where you're able to release shit that's been holding you back, that's been making you not feel like yourself, that's not been making you feel good. And it's powerful. It doesn't take months and years. It doesn't take thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It doesn't take all the things that it takes to go into a therapist's office and relive all those traumatic experiences again. With hypnosis, it just pops away, melts away. And again, not saying that there's anything wrong with those or negative about those professions at all. They help me tremendously, and I have nothing but respect for people that practice them. And just like any other profession, just like hypnosis, just like chiropractic, just like the dentist and the plumber and the electrician and everybody else out there, the surgeons, there's really good ones, there's mediocre ones, and there's lousy ones. And when you go through what I went through for as long as I went through it, you're going to run the gamut. You're going to find all of them. And unfortunately, I found a lot of bad ones up front, and I learned at least what to look for and what I needed to look out for what I needed to help me and what made a good provider. And so it helped me become a better, more empathic and conscientious provider myself through that process. So anyway, I'm getting off track a little bit. I tend to do that. So yeah, reason for the sunglasses is that's one of the side effects of my brain injury. I'm extremely sensitive to light, and especially bright lights. Anything outside, I just can't do it. Okay, change of scenery. Sorry about that. The sun was going down and it was starting to backlight me and you couldn't see me anymore. So we are moving to the other side of the table here to finish this bad boy up. Where was I? Oh yeah, sunglasses. So now you know why I got the sunglasses on in some of these videos. Not trying to look cool, it's just I can't be outside without them on. And I really like being outside. Anyway, back to hypnosis. Hopefully now you understand a little bit about my story, you understand where I came from and why I'm so passionate about this profession. In my next video, I'm going to talk a lot about different conditions that hypnotists can treat. And I think it's going to blow your doors off when you hear about all the different things that we can do with hypnosis. And if you think about it, we're just tapping into your subconscious mind. I mean, the subconscious runs 95% of what happens in your body, and it happens below your subconscious, below your conscious awareness, I should say. Only 5% of your mind is run by the conscious mind, the things you think about, the math, the science, the what am I going to do here. The rest, the autopilot, all your organs, all your function, all your beliefs about yourself, about the world, the blueprints you've got for reality, it's all stored in your subconscious mind. And all your memories, all your experiences, all your emotions, it's all there. That's not the most perfectly scientific explanation of it, but it's good enough to get us through this for right now. So until the next time, I am Shane Swaney, founder of Ascend Hypnosis. I'm really happy you're here with me, and I am looking forward to helping you become the best you that you can be.